Joined by head coach Bill O'Brien leading up to the Central Florida game. Coach, your evaluation of last week's game, now that you had an opportunity to look at the tape.
Right, I think overall we started slow, especially on offense, but we were able to adjust and pick up and get the ship righted. And I think what you see with our football team right now is we have a resilient team. You know, some things went bad early in the game, and the guys kept plugging, and we ended up having a good second half and won the football game.
Christian Hackenberg was talking after the game, just the difference he feels from quarter one against Syracuse to the fourth quarter last weekend. How much progress has he made?
Right, I think every play that every snap that he takes, every play that he makes, he's going to grow, and he's going to mature as a football player. And like I've said from day one with Christian, he's got fantastic demeanor, he's poised, and he understands football, and that goes a long way. And then getting out there and actually doing it over and over again is going to help him, in the long run.
A couple of the offensive line guys were talking about how the downhill approach from the running backs, all three of them, has really helped them in terms of blocking up front. What have you seen from the running game?
Yeah, I think it improved. I definitely think it improved, but I think we need to be more downhill. I think we bounce things too much, and we've got to stick with the blocking scheme and make our linemen right, so to speak, by the way that we run the football. But I definitely think we've improved, and now we have to keep it going because obviously we have a very tough Central Florida team coming in here on Saturday.
On the flip side, stopping the run on defense, defensive line played really well on Saturday. Five of the top 8 tacklers were defensive linemen. What have you seen from that group to really help stop the run?
Yeah, well, they're well coached. Larry Johnson does a great job with them. Daquan Jones is playing very, very well. I think that Kyle Boblitz and Austin Johnson are playing well. Then at the end position, you have Deion Barnes and C.J. Olignon, and then Zettel's getting in there, and he's doing some good things. So you've got a very productive group of 6 guys there that are working extremely hard, and we were able to get other guys into the game at the end of the game on Saturday, which is good, and just needs to keep going.
Talk about the importance of adjustments in the middle of a game, both offensively and defensively. How is that important to be successful?
It's very important, and we, especially me, we need to do it a little bit quicker here. You know, we came into that game thinking one thing with Eastern Michigan. Early season games are hard. You don't have a lot of tape on what you think they're going to do. Maybe you have one game. Maybe in Syracuse's case, you have no games. So you're having to rely on your adjustments, and I believe we have to do that a little bit quicker as we head into these next couple games.
When you look at Central Florida on tape, what's the biggest thing that stands out about their defense?
Well, they're a very tough team. They're a very tough defense. They're big, they're physical. Their DBs are physical, big guys that are going to come up and hit you. Defensive line plays with great pad level. They're well coached. The linebackers play very disciplined. They're a Coach O'Leary defense. You know, they're a very well coached, sound defense, and it's going to be a big challenge for us on Saturday night.
What do you see from the offense led by a veteran quarterback?
He's a good player. He's definitely Bortles is a definitely NFL prospect, and if you think you're just going to line up and show him the coverage, then you got another thing coming, because if you do that, he's going to burn you. And so we've got to make sure that that we're giving him some different looks and disguising a little bit. But at the same time, this is a guy that is a very seasoned guy. He's thrown for a lot of yards. He understands their offense, and he's doing a good job.
What's it going to be like going up against Coach O'Leary on Saturday?
Well, it's always tough. It's never personal. But here's a guy that had a lot to do with where I'm at right now. He kind of raised me in coaching. I went there as a graduate assistant with him, and I owe a lot to the man, and so it'll be great to see him. I think I'll get a chance to see him Friday night at the Irish get-together, and then obviously I'll see him Saturday. But again, once we take the field, he knows and I know it's all about the players on the field, and that's who's going to determine who wins the game.
Your thoughts on being at home, a night game, a great crowd expected on Saturday. What's it like in this atmosphere? Obviously a great crowd last week, but what about this week?
Yeah, I thought last week's crowd was good, and I think we can do even better. And I think that our student section is just awesome. I can't say enough about our student body. We need them again. Anytime there's a night game at Beaver Stadium, the campus is filled with excitement, and we just need, again, 108,000 fans there, because, again, our players get so excited. They sit here in this locker room. They hear the crowd outside the locker room. They feel the crowd when they're walking through the tunnel to run out for the game, and then when they take off out of the tunnel. it's an experience like none other. So, again, I'm not begging, but I'm definitely asking the fans to turn out and support these players.
What are your keys to the game, starting on offense?
I think offensively we've got to limit our penalties and limit our turnovers. I believe Central Florida has not turned the ball over once. So if we think we're going to come in there and turn the ball over, we got another thing coming, because that's not going to be a good recipe for success. We have to run the ball. We have to do a much better job on third down. Third down's been a little bit of execution lately, and we have to do a much better job of executing offensively on third down.
But how about on defense?
Defensively, I think it starts with stopping the run like it always does, and then it goes to making sure that we do some things to make Bortles feel uncomfortable. We've got to disrupt their passing game in different ways, and I think if we do that and follow our rules, then we'll be in good shape defensively.
Through 2 weeks, what's your evaluation of the special teams unit in all phases?
Yeah, I think it's better. I think if you start with the specialist, Sam Ficken is definitely improved kicker. I think Alex Butterworth, Butter as we call him, is definitely improved. I think he's got to be more consistent. I think a lot of that has to do with the operation of the punt. The snap has to get back there a little bit quicker. I believe our coverage teams have done a decent job. They've gotten down there. They're especially last week, they did it with more effort, and they were physical when they came at the point of attack, and which was good to see. I think our return teams have improved. Geno Lewis had a nice return the other day. Jesse Della Valle and Von Walker on our punt return are doing a nice job of catching the football. We got to stick on blocks better, but we're working extremely hard at it, and we'll continue to.
What can you say about Von Walker and a number of the run-ons who have contributed already?
We have a number of run-ons. First start with the older run-ons that some of those guys were awarded scholarships that are doing a fantastic job, like Jesse Della Valle, like Ryan Kaiser, Matt Lehman, who's out for the season. Carl Nassib's gotten in there a little bit and done some nice things. So, and then you go to the younger guys, the class of 13 run-ons, and there's a number of guys there that can definitely help us, led by Von Walker. He's come in here and been a guy that's been able to adapt to the regiment of every day, the schedule of every day, and lifting weights and going to study hall and then practicing football and all those different things. And we look forward to a good future with him.
Coach, good luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Tony.